we are into draft. Here we go. That is Phil Me on the blue side, everyone, and bada bing, bada boom on the red side. Corky locked in. I think this might be what they were talking about. And Lucian. All right, Billy, everyone at home, we are having a great game here in our finals already.
This is going to be... There's a lot of damage already. I'm going to put that out right now. There's a huge amount of damage just from Corky and Lucian. I do like the Wei and the Pantheon ban against Phil Me, especially since Geo just absolutely destroyed BYU with Wei last game.
Mm-hmm. Got taken away this time, but is this the Akali lock-in? It's being hovered. That is going to be Geo on the Akali. This is actually insanely exciting because we've seen him on control mages, but we don't see a lot of Akalis, and coming from a player like Geo, this is going to be crazy.
And also seeing some more of those assassins, even if they are, ability power assassins, magic assassins, so to speak. Seeing some of them in there is certainly a breath of fresh air from the typical meta.
When we do PCP, we talk about the last month's games and what we expect to see in the patch that would influence our tournament. When did Kayn become so popular that he's played twice in the same tournament? This is actually crazy to me.
I think it's the itemization, honestly. A lot of the items that Kayn uses got buffed. And so just with that, and a few of their prices just slightly tweaked down. A couple of the items had their stats boosted by just a tiny bit. And he himself didn't really have anything going on as far as rebalancing. Just the items that he uses.
I really like the Thresh and Blitzcrank bans. 2 champions with the hooks, and now we got to look for if Bada Bing is to be believed, maybe Pyke or Nautilus, some other champion like that on the side of Phil Me to assist that Corky. And Kled locked in. All right, everybody. This is officially the coolest game of the day. We have so many surprising picks. Mordekaiser makes it in. Lucian and Corky as our marksman. Akali locked in with Kled. Like, how could it get any better?
We get a Karma. Or almost. Karma was hovered. Karma or Swain. And...
It was... Like 3-4 months ago, I talked about the Swain and his buffs, and that we didn't see enough of him. So I'm glad to see the Swain locked in.
And
where's it going?
I would say that Swain would be going support with that. Because Swain's support is actually really good. He has the zoning and the lockdown. He has his root and pull. Easily able to get enemies in range for Corky.
Are we locking in Ahri as well? Wow.
That could also be a Swain top lane.
All right, everybody. Phil Me said they have something spicy cooking for us, and this is definitely spicy cooking.
This is very spicy cooking. Very off meta in terms of who your support would be. Also, from Bada Bing, Bada Boom, we have the Kled and Mordekaiser and Sylas. Once again, the other stream that they had with us, the other game on stream they had with us, it was 3 champions that could have gone either top lane, mid lane, or jungle.
I am loving this, and I really like that Sylas lock-in. Take a look at ultimates that you can steal.
Yes.
And when you consider his possible opponents, does well with the Akali, does well against the Ahri, and can definitely use the Swain ultimate to stay in that fight. Like, what a great way to round out that draft for Bada Bing. That looks so good.
Especially somebody like, because Silas can build so much heavy ability power, he's probably going to do more damage with Swain's ultimate than Swain would do, because Swain's probably geared more towards that AP bruiser, whereas
Mhm.
Silas is not so much AP bruiser, but he does have that in his kit. He does build that, but he builds a little bit more AP heavy than health.
Exactly. So he's going to be dealing a bit more damage, but I imagine that the Swain is going to be tankier because, like you said,
Yes.
he's going to be gaining the birds and the soul siphoning. No, no,
Mhm.
hold on. That's not the right word because that's
Not
Nasus's
soul siphoning.
passive.
It's his uh, ravens.
Yeah.
Fiddlesticks has crows. Swain has ravens.
Okay, listen, everyone. For those of you who thinking that they're the same, not quite. Ravens are much bigger. All right, and that's probably the only difference that I'm aware of. But ravens are bigger, crows are smaller, and more black. I think is the other.
They're
thing.
both in the Corvid family.
That is true.
It's
So-
like a dog versus a coyote.
Mm.
That's about the difference between a raven and a crow.
Let me ask you this, Billy Harold. A group of crows is called a murder. What do you call a group of ravens?
It's a flock.
There's no way it's that simple.
It's a flock of ravens.
Dude, that's just silly. Oh,
A
hold on.
conspiracy
I'm getting
of
something here. A
ravens.
conspiracy of ravens. I'm going to use that as fact and no one can stop me. Thank you, production.
I will
All right.
try.
So, look at this. That's the Akali in the top lane with the Ari mid. So you call it, Billy. That's Swain support. I think that was a really clever deduction that you made. Mordekaiser in the jungle as well. Like both of these teams, it almost seems like they collaborated and said, "How can we blow their minds and do something really, really cool?"
Let's just both play off meta team comps for finals.
Mhm.
And just throw everyone through a loop. You know, our first game against each other with meta picks didn't work, so let's just go off meta the whole way. I guess.
Now,
Something like that.
I have not seen a Kled Akali matchup before, and so I'm trying to theory craft how that's going to go in the lane because I don't know that Akali will be able to just beat Kled off of Skarl all that often, but I don't think Kled's going to have a whole lot of pressure to kill the Akali either. So it's just fascinating to think about what are the things to consider when you're looking at this matchup and how do you win it.
So one thing I think that Kled could have an advantage with is if he gets that trap onto Akali, he can track her through her mist.
Mm-hmm.
He can easily find out where she is. He can dash through where she is without even having to guess.
So, do you play Kled a lot? Are you familiar with how his joust works, his E?
I'm familiar with it, but I don't play him very often because he's not my playstyle.
Okay, so my memory says when you cast Joust, if you hit an enemy champion, you can cast it a second time.
Yes.
Now, the direction you go on that second Joust is not to where your cursor is, but to the same target you hit. Is that accurate?
I'm not sure about that one.
Okay. I know they changed his Joust a little bit. I don't know how, but I remember them talking about it in the patch notes. And so if it works the way my mind thinks it does, it's even more ability to track through that shroud, which would give Kled advantage. And that's exciting, but I don't know if I like it. I don't know.
Yeah, it does give a little bit of an advantage, but you know his rope trap also gives him that same advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So
You have a
just being
point.
able to track with that, it stays on her even when she goes invisible, and so it'll still show where she is. And what I think is interesting is this Milio support with Lucian. Not who I would pick as a support for Lucian. Usually I'd pick somebody, you know, Leona is the strongest support hands down for Lucian. but how she would fare in the matchup against Swain and Corki, that's questionable. Mostly because Leona wants to get in close, and Swain has no problem with that. Even if he's stunned, he has no problem with it. Another great pick for... So any support that can inflict a lot of crowd control is great for Lucian, because that helps him with his passive.
Right.
And, the reason why I say that Leona's the best support for Lucian is because he procs her passive and she procs his.
I can see that.
So they synergize extremely well.
So I do want to throw in there that any healing or shielding also augments his passive in the same way that crowd control does, which I think is... I think that's why people say Nami, because she has the bubble and the E and the heal. And so I think the combo of that gives more options. But your point about Leona is really good. Because of her passive, you're combining the two. I just wonder, so if you go damage Leona full AP, does that increase the damage her passive does? I don't even know if that scales.
Her passive scales on level.
Okay, so it's a flat amount.
It is a flat amount. It scales on level.
That would be so busted if you could full AP with
AP Leona. If her passive, it used to have a scaling based on ability power, but AP Leona was so busted because of that that literally any AD carry essentially had Lucian's passive at that point.
Got it. So speaking of marksman, I do want to talk about the Corki, because it's another one of those safe picks because he has that Valkyrie, just a way to escape when things get weird. But Corki in pro play, especially in NA, has had kind of a dip in effectiveness. So when looking at these compositions, how confident are you in the Corki being able to do the job he needs to do?
So Corki, to do a lot of his damage, does need to get in close. He has to get up close and personal, just like Swain. So I think that they're going to need to be very aggressive, especially against Lucian and Milio. And to your point, Milio does boost Lucian's passive with his healing, but only so much. There's only so much buff that it really gives. But if Swain and Corki, if Swain can pull Lucian in or pull Milio in, catch one of them out, that easily gives Corki that opportunity to get in close and to finish off the champion that got pulled.
Here we go, everybody. We are on Summoner's Rift for the final game of the day. Our finals between Phil Me and Bada Bing, Bada Boom. We saw some of your love and excitement about who you think is going to win already, but show us one more time in the chat. Now that we see our team compositions, who's got this, who's going away victorious, and who is going to be celebrating at the end of the night?
Let's get a BB or an FM in the chat. All right. Looks like we do have the typical lineup from Phil Me. Just the meta lineup. Cover the vision on the river. Make sure nobody's getting in and giving us any surprises for our jungler.
Vorkath wants to go in. Geo gets a good electrocute proc, though, to start the trading. CEO of Ganking was ready to do any sort of follow-up if Vorkath wanted to go further aggressive. So that was a pretty good play out of FM to start. Nice battle line to make sure that the entrances of the jungle were covered.
Yes. And I think it discouraged that gank that invade that Bada Bing Bada Boom was beginning to form. They saw that there was that vision there. They don't want to engage on something that's uncertain. They want to get the element of surprise and not get collapsed on.
Nice pullback there from Upset Life. Gray Fox, though, retaliating with some good damage on the Lucian. And the early parts of this game, you want to get that level 2, especially if you've got the dash and the Q for Gray Fox. You deal so much damage.
Yeah, barely avoiding that hole from Swain there with that dash.
Gray Fox does have the CS advantage at this point. It's only 2, but he's caught there with the never move, and he's ignited. That means it's gonna be first blood over to Derry. Gets the kill onto Gray Fox. Nerd Undercover is gonna flash forward, pick up another kill. Upset Life is now in a 1v1 against Nerd Undercover and will secure that. That's 2 kills on the side of Filmy.
And that's the advantage that Swain has. He stays in the fight. He does a lot of damage, and he will continue to bully you even if he's the only one left. He is an AP bruiser.
I do need to ask the question about Mordekaiser's clear. That was one of the things we talked about earlier in the stream about how efficient and safe your clear is what makes a good jungler. And he seems to be doing quite well considering the CS numbers. But like, is that indeed where he shines? Rapcore and Orange Star are having a fight here. Rapcore gets hit with the pocket pistol, meaning Skarl will be back any time. Gray Fox putting more damage down onto Derry. A gank in the mid lane forces Geo's flash. He is quick. He's in the river. CEO of ganking has shown up. Pikuwu gets hit with the Vision of Empire. He's slowed down, but he's got that shield. He's going to slow down, and the charm will come out. Geo will pick up that kill. Vorkath jumps in. Ignite is down to the CEO of ganking, but he heals while he's in the wall, and now it's 4-1 for Filmy.
Also claiming Feat of Warfare in that fight. And so, going back to that clear on Mordekaiser, it is a little bit slower, but it's certainly faster than his Tom Kench was earlier.
Oh, yeah. That Tom Kench was actually really funny to watch. Gray Fox wants to go in. He gets more than half health from Upset Life. That's really strong. And I want to say one more thing really quick. I apologize. Orange Star is a crazy funny name. I love that so much.
We got an Orange Star on the stream.
Close your eyes, kids. Anyway.
This one's kid-friendly. Except it wasn't kid-friendly because it crashed.
Indeed. But,
all right.
So, up on the top side, that's a 9 CS difference here in favor of the Akali. If I were to have guessed how it would go, this isn't how I would have thought.
Yeah, they're both relatively close range, so they need to get in to be able to get their CS. They need to get in close. But I think it's mostly because Akali's able to do a lot more sustained burst. Like, she bursts a little bit and can easily quickly reset and then burst again.
Orange Star has to be careful. He has Ignite. He has Ultimate. Rapcore goes underneath the turret with no fear. I think if you're Orange Star, you want that one back. You should have gone back to base.
Yeah. If it were me, I certainly would have been going back at that low health. But there's also the, I don't want them pushing this lane into me, and I go back and they take 2 plates.
Well, he has teleport, though. So the moment you're off of Skarl and you pause under your turret, I would go back and then teleport in. But that isn't what happened, so we're going to just move past it. 41-29 CS lead up on the top side, getting some items to prepare for health shredding with the Haunting Guys. Now Geo goes in using the Spirit Rush, only level 5 on Vorkath, drops him to about 80 health, and he has to back out.
And it looks like we did have some mutual jungler spotting as both junglers found each other in that bot jungle. That's a lot of jungle. Once again, Swain just grabbing and pulling as much as he can.
Yeah, a fight up on top side. Charge has been used. Orange Star against Rapcore. He has vision in that brush, meaning he can do a little bit more damage, but Rapcore is healthier. Orange Star has vision on him now from Rapcore. On the bottom side, they are going to try and take the Drake. Rapcore and Orange Star are in a weird little standoff. They decide to shake hands and back out, but that's going to be advantage to Rapcore as he has a way of staying in here. No kill threat from the Kled.
And Dragon going over to Filmy as well with this. Not really much of a contest for it as Mordekaiser was up on the top side.
This game is starting to shape up in the way that some of the people in the chat were saying. But Gray Fox doesn't want it to. Look at this aggression here, knowing exactly how he needs to play to get the maximum effectiveness out of his champion.
Yeah, we've got one death from every single person. Only one death from every single person on Bada Bing Bada Boom. And one kill each on the side of Phil Me. So, interesting lineup there. One kill over to Corki, or one death over Corki with a kill on Milio.
Orange Star goes in onto Rapcore, but he doesn't have his True Sight spells anymore. That's the flawless execution. Rapcore just needs one more spell, dodges underneath the turret, and gets out with only 400 health. And the Vision of Empire takes the kill!
It's that sneaky Swain, that
what are you
sneaky
doing up
support. That is Upset Life doing Upset Life things. We saw last game how he was super sneaky with that Thresh. You don't even know that he's gone from bot lane and suddenly he gets a kill on top lane.
Gray Fox going in onto Derry. Doesn't land the calling all the way, meaning there is no kill. But big damage, big pressure. We were talking about how Corki is safe. What else can he do? Vorkath wants to go in onto Geo, but the minions stop his aggression from the abduct. Derry under the turret. Gray Fox gets hit with the turret shot. Vorkath does have the ultimate stolen from the Ahri. Derry is low. Nerd Undercover is low. Gray Fox is low. They don't get the dive.
And they lost a lot of health trying to...
Oh my gosh. Flash charm onto Nerd Undercover. He flashes after using his ultimate. And that's a death realm onto CEO of ganking. Pikuwu definitely saved his support's life with that ultimate.
Yes. Yeah, CEO of ganking looked like he was about to ult onto Nerd Undercover there. I do see the... I think I do still see the ultimate up from Kayn.
Pikuwu gets caught. Nerd Undercover saves him with a shield or two. But Upset Life puts that balance back in favor of FM.
And, we do have, half an item lead on Ahri as well in the mid lane. With Sylas building towards a Rod of Ages. If he can get that quickly enough, then it's going to be very advantageous for him. But he has to pick up his CS lead. He has to make sure, or he has to pick up on the CS to keep Ahri from getting too far ahead with that.
Take a look at the vision on the bottom side of the map. It is all FM around all those entrances to the jungle. Gray Fox might be in some trouble. Derry and Upset Life go in. They have the Upset Life ultimate. He has to flash away. Gray Fox flashes forward to pick up the kill. Derry is the next target. Gray Fox is really low. Nerd Undercover keeps him alive, but only long enough for him to die. Orange Star is ignited. Rapcore picks up that kill on the bottom side. In goes CEO of ganking. He picks that one up. But on the top side, Rapcore gets a double kill in a 1v2. Vorkath goes in onto Geo. He is going to land a lot of spells this time, but does not have the hijack ready against Geo. He does have Ignite. He goes in with the Kingslayer and will throw down the Ignite, and that's pressure finally coming out of the Sylas, but he has no damage.
Yeah, he's only got a couple hit point items and a mana item for that Catalyst right now. He doesn't really have any ability power other than that Doran's Ring, so it's starting to hurt him at this point.
But he should get pretty strong after one or two of those items. Sylas as a champion, we know, scales really well with that ability power, and so he'll be just fine. But it does make it hard in the beginning because that's Malignance built and completed by Geo.
Yes. So, 1.3k gold up in mid lane, 1.7 from Akali in the top lane. And that gold lead from Ahri is just increasing more and more as Sylas had to go back.
I do want to question the Hex Drinker on Kled. I know that the magic resistance and the damage will be good, but I wonder if he could have chosen a better item. Piku Wu is in some serious trouble. CEO of Ganking gets pulled into the Death Realm, and he gets the kill instead. Vorkath does have the Swain ultimate. He will use it, and they will pick up a kill on the bottom side. Meanwhile, up on top, Ornstar and Rapcore are fighting. Ornstar losing out a little bit because of the health damage that Akali does with the Liandry's now.
Yes, so Liandry's is certainly one of the best items to fight Kled with. You know, it burns him down, burns Skarl down, so Skarl has to run away, and it will continue to burn even after Skarl runs away.
In he goes. He does have the bear trap on a rope. Ornstar is low underneath the turret. The ignite is there, and Rapcore picks up another kill. 4-0 on the Akali. Kingslayer flash away from Vorkath. He is alive, but so is Geo.
You know, for a quarter of a second, I thought that Akali had died right there. It was that
It was
close.
close. CEO of Ganking is on his way. Vision of Empire does land on both of them, even though they both tried to get away. And that's another kill for Filmy. Derry picks that one up. 13-3 now for Filmy.
You know, that Corki getting in close range, it just amplifies his damage even more. And you know, one of the mistakes that I used to make when I played Corki for a little bit is, and it's the reason why I never really got any good with Corki, was because I didn't auto-attack people. I just relied on my abilities, and I didn't really, you know, run up to people and auto-attack them at close range with that barrage going.
Yeah, that's one of the really big secrets, is it shreds armor, and it helps you stack your passive, which is dealing true damage.
Yes.
Yeah,
And
it's... Go ahead.
And then his auto attacks also are, you know, mixed magic and physical damage.
Not anymore. Now they just deal
Are they?
extra true damage.
Okay.
Yeah, they
It's
changed it when they
effective.
reverted the package. But Ornstar is in some trouble. Rapcore gets another favorable trade. That's going to be the second Drake over to the side of Filmy. Grey Fox is in some trouble. That beats completed, and the Blessing of Nox is given to Filmy. They're going to dive this, what used to be a turret. Nerd Undercover is very low. He's going to go down, and that is turret number 1 destroyed for Filmy. They find Mordekaiser in the jungle, and they chase him off as well. They're going to take up another turret on the top side. Piku Wu goes into the Death Realm with Upset Life. Ornstar is here onto Derry. Bear Trap on the rope will pull him in, and he's going to get knocked off of Skarl one more time. CEO of Ganking will pick up a kill in the jungle. Vorkath trying to do what he can, but he gets charmed up. He's going to get some healing done, but against 3 members of Filmy, make that 4. That's not enough, and that's a triple kill for CEO of Ganking.
And that was also 3 for 0. Plus a tower in the top lane. And
It's going to be 2 turrets.
2
in fact.
towers in the top lane, yeah. You know, you leave lane one time and suddenly you've got 2 turrets missing.
Yeah. Brutal. Grey Fox is in some trouble here. CEO of Ganking and Geo want to take him down. He does have the calling. He flashes forward. He will pick up 608 gold for the shutdown. Grey Fox will die to the Umbral Trespass, and now Ornstar is clearing up top.
And you know, and we do have, you know, that tier 1 mid turret also going down. You know, every single tier 1 turret being gone right now. 2 turrets in the top lane. Akali at this point can just free roam the map and not have to worry much about anything. And we do have objective bounties available for Bada Bing Bada Boom.
That Cyclosword is something I just noticed on CEO of Gaming. That is messed up. Jumping in, getting the slow so you can always land that knockup is very clever.
Yeah, the Cyclosword is one of the more underrated items. Yeah, it has a little bit lower damage and a little bit lower lethality than most other items in its category.
Uh-huh. Well, it slows you for 99%. So,
Yes.
like, I get it.
For half a second. But,
It's still.
yes.
What did you think about that dash exchange? But never mind, Grey Fox goes in onto Derry. Derry flashes away, and Pikuwu isn't able to get the Death Realm fully cast. Now Ornstar goes in onto Raptor. Pikuwu is here as well. They're trying to deal as much damage as they can. Ornstar is going to go over the wall, but CEO of Ganking gets to go through it, and Bada Bing are on the run.
He certainly is the CEO with these plays.
Nice.
He can just go through the walls and gank you from there.
They do have vision in that little brush, so Derry has to be careful. Pikuwu gets him into the Death Realm, gets some damage, but not quite enough. Derry is going to be just fine, but Gray Fox throws down the culling and picks up his first kill in this fight. Geo goes underneath the turret, will pick up one against the Mordekaiser. Gray Fox goes down as well, and now Upset Life finds Vorkath. He has a Rylai's or some way to slow. It is the Rylai's indeed. Hijacked ultimate will keep Vorkath alive for a while to get the kill onto Geo. Underneath the turret, Upset Life is trying to get Nerd under cover. Ignite is down. Upset Life is still alive. The ult is going, and he will not die. Ornstar, though, wants to go in onto Derry. He does have his ultimate, but doesn't want to use it. That's the joust on the bear trap on the rope. Barrier is popped, but is it enough? He is going to go down, but Ornstar picks up the kill.
Saving that ultimate for the right time paid off for him. But there's only so much that he can do when the rest of his teammates are dead.
Exactly. But it was a good play. He needed to get some kind of gold. And the stop off for the Hex Drinker, like I was saying, I think that you're better off going with Sterak's. Just starting Sterak's, because you still get the shield when you complete the item. And it's just better for you.
Yeah, it works in more situations. Honestly, Sterak's works in a lot more situations than Hex Drinker does. Although Hex Drinker scales on your AD and not on your life, like Sterak's does. So it depends on what he's wanting to scale with. Given that he has a Titanic Hydra, I would have gone more with the Sterak's than a Hex Drinker.
Here comes the next engage. CEO of Ganking has shown up through the wall. Vorkath and crew are on the run. They are pushed out of their jungle. This could be a full 5v5. Rapcore wants to go in onto Ornstar, hits the Shuriken, hits the 5-point strike, goes into the miss. Ornstar is super low, but Vorkath finds him somehow. Just a random abduct hits the guy. And now CEO of Ganking has to go through the wall. No one dies here, and they're taking a turret in the mid lane. They don't have the damage, though. They have the minions. Rapcore gets pulled in by the Mordekaiser. Pikuwu is hit with the Shuriken, and he's got the damage in the circle to try and stop the Shroud from keeping him invincible. But all of the rest of FM are on the bottom side, taking the Otacon.
And all they needed was somebody strong to be able to defend that mid turret, keep the objective bounty from being claimed.
Gray Fox goes in, deals so much damage, and gets the kill onto Rapcore. Nice shutdown, nice influx of gold onto the Lucian, but really, when you think about it, you're just barely breaking this turret. You lost the Drake in the last fight. I don't know, man. It's getting tough. Geo jumps in, gets the kill onto Gray Fox, maybe. He flashes away and is still alive. Remember, he took the turret. Gray Fox is still there. He's trying to use his passive to get his E back. He goes over the wall one more time. Vision of Empire doesn't land. They don't have vision. Gray Fox is behind enemy lines. He's in so much trouble. Wants to try and get the kill onto Geo. CEO of Ganking can go through the wall. They find him and they take him down.
We do have Ornstar going for a second objective bounty on the tower down there. And claiming that objective, that is a lot of gold injection. We do see from that kill on Akali and the tower that Lucian was able to get a fairly healthy gold lead.
Pikuwu is in some trouble. He is going to ult Upset Life. They are alone in the Death Realm, but he's going to go into his own Demonic Ascension. So now we have ultimates going. Once he's out of that, CEO will get the kill.
And, honestly, going 1v1 against Swain isn't always the best idea. Especially if that Swain has a 1,000 gold lead already. and has that gold put into items. You know, he's got his Fimbulwinter. He has his Faded Ashes being built into a damage over time item, and so he's going to be, he's going to be doing a lot of the damage there that might be missed elsewhere.
I want to draw 10. Go ahead.
We do have a 4,000 gold lead from CEO of Genki.
That's huge. Ornstar is caught. He's knocked off of Scarro, meaning no ultimate. He does stay alive, which is important for Bada Bing because we're 23 minutes into this game and they are down 18 kills.
And, you know, 18 kills is a little bit scary.
Nerd Undercover is caught. He tries to ult and stay alive, but it's no good against 3. Derry takes him down. Doesn't even have the fully stacked Muramana. That's actually crazy to me. Vorkath still hit with the Vision of Empire. Vorkath and Raptor want to fight. Vorkath is ignited. He is killed. And that's another one for the Akali. Now 5-1.
Yeah, Corki is at 255 stacks, so he is almost there. He just needs
he's
to
100 off.
Yeah, although he did build it late.
Yeah.
So he is stacking it fairly quickly right now.
I'll give you that. For when he built it, yes. But still, and look at that, 3 items on the Kayn completed by 23 minutes. This guy has so much gold. They're gonna take down the top lane inhibitor. Derry actually gets pulled into Pikuwu's Death Realm. Does he have the damage? Derry deals so much. He is gonna go down, but Pikuwu is also so low. Ornstar and Vorkath want to defend Nerd Undercover. In goes Vorkath. He uses the stolen Akali ultimate, and he dodges out the charm. But I don't think that they have the pressure here. Nerd Undercover gets caught. He is killed, and Geo is going crazy on this Ahri. He doesn't land anything after that. Ornstar wants to go in, but Geo dodges it out with the ultimate. Inhibitor number 2 under fire. And look at where their wave is. They can just jump right down here to the 3rd turret. Take that and try Hib. Bada bing, bada boom. Rapcore goes in with the Shroud. Ornstar is alive. Vorkath wants to help. Grey Fox picks up the kill on the Akali. Flash forward into the smite for Grey Fox. CEO of Ganking goes under turret, picks up another kill. Doesn't land the knockup, but now it's Pikuwu and Vorkath against 4. In comes Nerd Undercover, gonna get some shields and healing onto Pikuwu. Vorkath is gonna get knocked up by CEO of Ganking, and the inhibitor is still alive, but only for a moment as Geo helps secure that. And is this fight finally over?
Only for a brief moment.
Yes, brief indeed, because Vorkath says he needs to help clear these minions. Pikuwu has to help him as well. Nerd Undercover doesn't have a whole lot of ways to do that. In goes Vorkath. He wants to try and get something done. Goes on to CEO of Ganking, but he is mobile as well. Into the Death Realm they go. Pikuwu versus CEO of Ganking. He does pick up the kill, but the Nexus turrets are down. Geo and Upset Life want to go on to Pikuwu. They're going to get him. Derry helps them out as well, but Ornstar goes on to Derry trying to do some kind of damage. Akali is in the back line wanting to go for Grey Fox. Instead goes after Ornstar. Geo gets the kill onto Grey Fox. Into the fountain they go. No! He doesn't even get hit with the fountain. He ults away to the stairs of the fountain, and that's going to be Phil.me taking game number 6 of the night and becoming September champions.